Oh my gosh. What's up, folks? Wow. Okay, I'm just going to check out my phone real quick. Crazy technical issues here. Um, hmm. Sometimes, yeah, life is just really fun. It's like, okay, perfect. All right. I think I'm live. Perfect. Yep. Good. Wonderful. Okay. Phew. I don't know why this records so dark. I've got this really huge light here that I use with my clients that is actually like normally more than enough. My light is on overhead. I'm going to have to do some research about this. But hi there. If you actually showed up at 12 like I did and didn't find me here, well, I promise I was trying to get in. It's funny because I was, of course, listening to last week's message leading up to this, and I was just like, yes, this all happened. And then the technical difficulty, which I won't even get into. It's kind of what's been happening to me though the past week. Well, let me just take a step back. Welcome. Welcome back to the weekly Akashic Forecast. My name is Ahna Hendrix. Thank you so much for being here. If you find this video valuable, please like, subscribe, share it, do the things. It's all very helpful. And I just appreciate it. So my name is Ahna Hendrix. I'm a spiritual guide and the host of the Soul Driven podcast, where we explore the intersection of living a soulful and spiritual life in a driven and ambitious world. Take a breath. Man. Okay, I'm here. Again, so indicative of my class this week. I am so curious to hear about how your week has been. So please share. Please throw it in the chat. Please leave me a comment whenever it is that you come to this. I'm curious if your week was anything like mine. So, a little bit of background on me. I specialize in Akashic Soul readings, human design. I am a spiritual guide. I'm also a teacher. And lifelong dream. What can I say? So, a couple of things that I wanted to share before we kind of dive into this week. First of all, I just shared an Akashic message about what's happening in Ukraine. It's a beautiful message. I think it's a message that so many of us need to hear, and I will be putting a link to that in a pinned comment after this goes live. So be sure to check that out. It's a transcript. I haven't shared the voice clip from it, voice recording from it, but I also write on Medium and I share a lot of Akashic messages there. If that is something of interest to you, I'll be putting that link. You can go check it out. You can follow me there as well. But it's just another avenue. I think that spreading the Akashic point of view is one of the most important and valuable things I can do at this time. I am continuously learning so much through my client readings, through my personal readings, through the readings that I'm called to do, like for Ukraine. This is actually the third reading that I've done for Ukraine about what's happening in Ukraine and the entire crisis. And actually, in that most recent article, you'll find links to the other two as well if you want to check them out. But highly recommend. And then just the other thing is that if you haven't listened to the April Akashic Forecast, highly recommend. I'll also be putting a link to that below in the comments and you can check it out. So here I am, frazzled on a Friday. Yeah, frazzled. I got my selenite here. I'm going to actually hold on to this as we speak. And my black tourmaline, which is my favorite little grounding nugget. Whew, yeah, that feels better. um, if you don't know, black tourmaline is incredible for grounding. And oftentimes when I'm having a difficult time being grounded and or I'm working with someone who has real high energy, their energy plus my energy makes very high energy. And just to kind of bring myself back down, I'll just put my black tourmaline on my lap and, it gets nice and close to my root chakra. And man, that just does the trick. So highly recommend if you're in need of that. All right. So a little bit about last week. So, again, I'm curious to hear how your last week was. It was another tough one for me. And it was interesting when I was going back through the reading because they were saying it's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be tough. And I think that's really how this week was. I really struggled with sleeping this week. The energy was so intense. Um, Wednesday night, after I finished up my day with the last reading for the day, I was so tired. Actually, it was Thursday. No, it was Wednesday. I was so tired that I went and lay down on my bed and actually like fell asleep at like 8 o'clock, which is not something that happens for me normally. And then my partner and I, when it was like time for us to meet up together, we met up and I woke up, and then when it came time for us to go to bed, like I was buzzed. I couldn't go back to sleep. I felt like I had, I don't know, drank a cup of coffee or something. It was awful. And I just feel like I've really been wrestling with energy all week. And, they talked about in the reading how for some of us, the energy would really be amplifying us, and for others, not so much. But I was really just, wide awake through the night and exhausted through the day. So it was not a lot of fun. And when I am tired, it's very difficult for me to operate, um, to just kind of move about accordingly. So Monday specifically was really, really rough. Both my partner and I were just like dragging through the day. So curious to hear about how it's been for you. There were also so many different technical issues this week. I had heard from an astrologer, Channy Nichols. I always get names wrong. Forgive me. She had talked about this time period, how it would kind of be like a Mercury retrograde, and that's very much how it felt. It's like the things that they're supposed to be going and flowing were not. And there were so many different technical issues, miscommunications, just like little things that didn't add up. And yeah, it lots of little frustrations to say the least, kind of like going live on today. This live was scheduled out for AM instead of PM and for a different category. And yeah, so I had to go in and recreate like a whole different live. Maddening. Um, but overall, this week was great. I had beautiful client sessions. I really enjoyed the movement that I did with my body. Um, but yeah, I think they said it perfectly. It's not easy, but it's not tough. One of those weeks where things are just off, just off. Some of the things they talked about doing, spending time with loved ones, not something I was able to do this week, but something I'll certainly be doing this weekend just to kind of get me back grounded, spending time outside and slowing down. They were like, take your time, don't rush. And because I think I was in between the haze of sleepy yet awake, I felt like I needed to rush throughout the week. So I'm sharing all my screw ups with you. um, it's always interesting to look back, right, and be like, wow, okay, so this is what they shared with me. Um, I am a manifesting generator. If you are familiar with human design, and manifesting generators, we move very, very quickly. It's probably the biggest lesson of my life, I would think, is to slow down, to listen more, to take more time doing things, to be more patient with how things kind of flow through my life. Because I am just like, "Brrr," I just want to go Mach 5 all the time. And that's not possible. And that doesn't serve me. And then I get myself in these entanglements and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm the one who put myself there. So I have to take responsibility for that. Anyway, once again, I'd love to hear about your week. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, dive into the records here. Gonna place our hands on our heart per usual. Just come back to center. Come back to your body. Feel your body and the surroundings that it's in. But really focus on this beautiful heart space. What is there? What is there for you? Mine feels a little bit achy. It's a little bit sad. It feels frustrated. I just want to acknowledge that. I call in my guides, only those acting in my highest and best, to be with us today in this reading. Protect this space. Grant it sacred in this union. Thank you so much. Holy Spirit of God, please help me to share the message. The message you just love with that Lord. To keep me in your light, so I'm young, God, teach your full potential. God, and protected by growth energy, the Holy Spirit of God, giving all forms of self-centeredness aside. I enter the attending sense of teaching the video, the records by the grace of God, the Holy Spirit. I enter the attending sense of video, the records by the grace of God, the Holy Spirit. The records are now open. What message do you have for us in the week ahead? What is it that we need to know? In the week ahead, there will be great strife. Lots of bouncing into one another, stepping on each other's toes, potentially running over each other's fingers, saying things that shouldn't be said. tripping up in areas and ways that are difficult to see beforehand. This is because the energy is moving very fast now. Yes, it's moving so quick that oftentimes it's hard to keep up. You've been looking over one shoulder, then over the next, trying to figure out which direction it is that you're meant to go, but you are simply unsure. And there's so much activity happening around you that you feel lost. In the midst of a windstorm, in the midst of a tornado, encircled around you, this wind is moving so fast. It might cause you to collapse in overwhelm, or you might use its ferocious energy to kickstart your wildest dreams. There are so many ways in which this energy could hit you. So many ways in which you could use it to your benefit. But it won't be easy. It will take you deciding ahead of time to slow down to such a pace that you will be able to see what is ahead of you as far as you can. This won't always be easy, for life will distract you. The people, places, things around you will want more from you. They'll pick and pull at your clothes. They'll ask for your attention. Then, of course, there are so many things in your life that ask for attention these days. Yes, so many things. The phone that you love to hold between your hand was created so that you would be more connected to those whom you love. But instead, it has caused great distance. It has pushed you even further. It has taken up so much of your day. It has taken up so much of your time. We do not share this to shame you, for that is never our purpose, but simply to make you aware of where it is your time goes when you ask this question to no one in particular. For you know where your time goes, but you simply do not wish to acknowledge it. Please be kind to yourself, because all of this energy is pushing you into these moments of overwhelm, where it might be easier for you to sit in front of the TV, might be easier for you to scroll endlessly. But we wish to beckon you to do more with your time, to connect with yourself, to do things that bring you joy, that can fill you up, that can make you laugh out loud, that can remind you why it is that you continue moving forward each day upon this planet. For you are worthy and divine. You have purpose nestled within you. And it's so deeply important for you to wake up, participate, share your gifts, your loves, your talents, your skills, to participate in the life that is around you with your full awareness. Yes, we know that's not always possible, nor is it ever expected of you. We simply invite you to try more, to put distance between yourself and anything that is holding you back from connecting with yourself and the environment around you. Anything that is preventing you from being who you are. For in these times, that is of utmost importance. And in this week ahead, with the energy changing, shifting, mutating all around you, in the midst of this sandstorm, coming back home, coming back to center, is the way to make it forward. Put boundaries in place. Do not allow yourself to jump on your phone anytime your mind wants you to. Do not feel the need to answer calls if you don't feel like it. Honor yourself. The good news is that the energy is shifting. A break is coming. A lightness in the air. An easier tone. And it's not that this week is going to bring so many difficulties. It's simply that the energy will wish to weigh you down, which is why we seek to empower you now. Plan ahead. Think about your week and what is to come. Schedule in time to honor yourself, to laugh and have fun. And we will see you on the other side. It was interesting because I really did feel like, especially in the very midst of it, was like all of this energy was like all around me. And I did feel like I was in the middle of like a tornado or something. It was like I couldn't see out, right? It was like all I could see was like everything that was happening around me. And it kind of like, it reminds me of the energy even of this week. And I felt and could feel in the midst of that reading that this coming week will be a continuation of the energy. It feels like towards the end of the energy, I think or towards the end of the week, things are going to start shifting. The energy is really going to start calming, being more soothing, but kind of like leading up to it. It just feels like there's so much distraction right now in our world, and it's really trying to prevent us from connecting with ourselves, from connecting with the people around us, the things that we're meant to do. You know, what really comes to mind is, I've talked about this on my podcast before. It's like, you know, in the middle of 2008, people still launched businesses. People still built things. even when everything else was crumbling down around them, they stayed focused on what they felt was aligned for them. Here in Wilmington, there's this really cool home furnishing store. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's how my brain works. I get too excited. But she launched it in 2008 because she felt like that was what she was supposed to do, regardless of the sandstorm that was happening, regardless of how everything was falling apart. And it's a multi-million-dollar business now. It's very, very successful. And that's just the thing, that is what we are being called to do, is while everything else around us is breaking down, is falling, is getting weaker, is whatever the case may be, is to stay focused, right? To come home to ourselves, find that still, quiet inner space, really focus, on the people and things around us, really kind of tune into the things that we want to do, that we feel called to do, that are meant for us to do. And rest there, right? Rest there. And not allow ourselves to get distracted. In the April, and I think I may have mentioned this last week, in the April 2022 forecast, the Akashic Forecast, when I asked them what we should most be concerned about or be aware of, I can't remember how I worded it, they said distractions. And it was distractions of all kinds. I was kind of surprised they talked about cell phones so much, and I definitely felt, I can't think of the word. I felt like they were kind of pointing a finger at me. So if you felt that way, I'm with you. But they talked about our phones being distractions. They talked about a number of different things being distractions. But the thing is that there's this energy coming in that's really wanting to pull us off course. And we've got to stay focused. We've got to continue looking ahead, continue keeping our eyes on things that are meant for us, and not allowing ourselves to get all off balance. Yeah, they're saying, and one last thing, they really, really want us to be doing more is laughing and having fun. Whatever way that works for you, whatever way that you're called to do. Like I mentioned before, I didn't get a chance to connect with my loved ones this week as much as I would have liked to, but I'm going to go see my little nephews this weekend, go hang out with my brother's family, which I love. We're definitely going to be spending the weekend outside, doing those things to really nurture, ground, center for the upcoming week. Because it needs to be better than this week. It's all I gotta say. So getting outside, maybe that's watching a funny show for you. Don't judge yourself in regards to how that fun comes along. Okay. Go and have some fun. And yeah, just go and have some fun. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close here. I want to keep this shorter. Hopefully in the future, when folks join live, then if you have questions, we can ask the records. Okay, sending you so much love in the week ahead. Actually, let me go ahead and close the records real quick. Okay. Thank you, God and Holy Spirit, for allowing me to help God. The identities of this you, the master teacher, love, and the courage, love, and compassion. All right. And I thank you. Have a wonderful week. Much love. See you next Friday.